Winston.
Mm-hmm. We're here.
Today's going to be a good one.
It is a good one.
Here's who we have today, Winston. This guy is super funny. He is a legitimate stand-up comedian. Like he makes people laugh for a living.
Right.
He is a huge Waffle House fan. Now that I've seen him in person, I thought I might want to fight him over who was the bigger Waffle House fan, but
that could happen.
I think he would probably take me.
I don't know. I think a little Waffle House trivia or best Waffle House story could decide it.
I thought I was going to like him, but then I saw this story about him getting mad at an Uber driver named Eric that drove a Tesla. And that's when I knew I'm going to love this guy. And in fact, we might be related after I heard that story. The pride of Harvest, Alabama, Mr. Derrick Stroup.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, Mr. Derrick Stroup.
Thank y'all for having me.
Man, thank you for being here. You didn't play golf today. It was a little bit chilly.
Yeah, a little windy, a little chilly. It's like about 50 degrees right now. I was hoping to be a little better than that.
Yeah.
Not going to force it. If it was December, we'd be swinging.
Yeah.
But we got better weather on the way.
That's
no
right.
reason to push it.
You're a ping man.
Yeah, well, with this hat I am. I like this hat a lot. I'm not necessarily a ping guy in general. I mean, a good product, but I just like the hat.
They make a good product.
Yeah.
Are you paying attention to the Masters this weekend?
Yeah, because I'm going to do the same thing that I've done every year. Is I'm going to say Rory's going to win, and he's not, because he's coming in hotter than a $2 pistol.
He is playing good golf right now.
I mean, if we're doing it by that,
Sounds like Duke.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Too soon.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that Bryson has a chance too.
He's my wild card pick. Do you play Masters fantasy at all?
I don't.
They have their own official fantasy thing now for the Masters.
That is what a blessing.
It's genius, and they make you pick a past champion, a player from the U.S., an international player, a first timer, and then you get a wild card pick.
That is so fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh man,
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get involved. That sounds like something. I like the range on that.
It makes you pick a lot of interesting people, but you're able to put together like Scotty as a past champion.
Absolutely.
Did you say Obear? How do you say his name? Obear?
Obear? No. Bryson.
Well, no. I'm the European guy. I picked him as my European guy.
No, I don't think three Southern guys are going to figure out how to pronounce this name together.
Yeah.
Obear, I think is what
Obear.
it is. Yeah.
And Bryson may have been my U.S. pick.
Yeah.
No, I took Rory as it doesn't matter, but I think Bryson's got a really good chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the two guys that. I mean, you can't deny Rory right now and then Bryson. That's who I'd go with. But I'm excited, man.
Oh,
have you ever been?
I have never.
Have you been?
I have never been.
No.
Closest I've ever been is making my own pimento and cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
Close to the TV.
You can get a taste of the Masters now. You can order that stuff and have it shipped to your house.
That's pretty cool.
I know. They ship you like little plastic Masters cups and
between
their
that
pimento
and your
cheese.
Fantasy, you're basically there.
I might have to do that
You're there,
this year.
Yeah, I mean, my buddy John Christ, he had a divot and he had like a little patch of grass. He took
from
it home.
Augusta.
Yeah, from Augusta, where he played there a couple weeks ago, and he brought it home, put it in a pot. Now it's growing, and he's gonna put it in his yard.
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
I got to back up. He played
Augusta
there a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he did. He got
in perfect condition. I would guess
18 holes on there. Yeah, he told me. Let me tell y'all. And Christian comedian told me he shot an 84. Can you believe he lied like that?
Wow.
My
unexcusable.
Is he a pretty decent player?
Yeah, he's great. I mean, 84, he's on a heater.
Yeah.
But he's usually, somewhere between, I'd say, 87, 90.
Yeah.
John's an athlete. We've golfed together a good bit. I mean, Nate Bargatze, a bunch of people golf these days in the comedy world. It's a good pastime when you're on the road.
Yeah. I feel like watching your stuff, would you say it's pretty obvious to say growing up in the South influences your comedy a ton?
Yeah, a ton.
I think you're a pretty unabashed Southerner out
there. Yeah.
A place like Harvest, Alabama, 5,000-6,000 people maybe?
Yeah.
Pretty small
That's
town.
about what it's like now.
What was it like growing up there?
What
was your childhood like?
It was all cotton as far as you could see.
Really?
But it was like the perfect childhood, living area in my opinion, because it was country as you could imagine.
Yeah.
But we were only like 15 minutes from Huntsville, Alabama. So it was always nice to be able to go to the movies or go to the mall or run to town and it not be. And this perspective really landed on me. My lady, she's from Kansas, and you know, you go out to the Midwest. Like I say this on stage. They tell us in the South that we grew up in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you go to the Midwest and you realize you've been lied to. Okay, because
that's true.
I mean,
that's true.
It's nice as Southerners. I like to be out in the country, but I don't want to drive an hour to go to Dillard's. I'll be honest. So Harvest was a good mix of that.
That's not too far from Nashville. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not too far at all. Nashville is where we were closer to Nashville than we were to like Birmingham. So growing up, we would go to Opry Mills, Opryland. We'd come to Nashville.
Oh, man.
Yeah, memories, huh?
Golly, Wabash Cannonball.
Come on,
the
man.
Flume Zoom, funnel cakes, unbelievable.
It was. Yeah. So because I'm right there at the state line, right outside of Ardmore, which is right there on the state line. So yeah.
And then so you go to college. After college, you're running bars, like multiple bars at the same time.
Yeah.
How old were you doing that?
Well, in Jacksonville, Alabama, I was still in the same town I went to school in. There was 2 bars there, Brothers and Pelhams, owned by the same family, the Nolans. And the Nolans also were part owners of Fox Brothers Barbecue in Atlanta and Smith's Old Bar.
Fox Brothers, great spot.
Lights out. I was eating it before anybody knew it was around.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's I love it. I ate it not too long ago. But I ran those bars for those guys in that little town, Jacksonville, where Jacksonville State is. Yeah. A lot of people think if you're not from around here or in the South, they think it's Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah. This is actually just a little nestled in between Atlanta and Birmingham, right on the Georgia-Alabama line. But yeah, that's where I got started. I mean, there's a wild story behind this. A lot of big country singers came through that area and got started too. I mean, I've talked about it on several podcasts. Me and Riley Green go way back from college. He's from Jacksonville, Alabama.
Okay.
I go there to Jacksonville State. I'm running the local bars. We were rivals back in the day, but I mean, I booked him at the bar almost every night that I could. And you know, that's kind of how I got into it.
Was he still that good looking back then?
Yeah, he didn't have any of that meat on his bones.
Do you know Riley Green?
I know him enough to know what he looks like. How about that?
Yeah, but here's what's hilarious, and this is what I've talked about it a couple times, and it's as true as it gets. I mean, me and him, I drove him crazy because we both kind of there was a lady that we both had an interest in, and she liked me at one point about as much as she liked him. And he couldn't quite figure it out, you know, being him and holding a guitar. But I was chubby, just sending zingers, you know. I was giving him everything he could handle. But it's really cool. Sam Hunt, Drake White, a few other guys that came through there because you had to go through those bars for the Nolans to get to their Smith's Old Bar in Atlanta. So they would make you go play Brothers in Jacksonville for 30 college students before you got to do the Atlanta gig. Riley was already from there, but Sam Hunt, Drake White, Chase Rice, all these other guys came through. I mean, Chase Rice pulled up to Brothers 14 years ago in a tour bus before anybody knew his name. So yeah, it's crazy to look back on these things. I mean, sorry to interrupt. I was going to say I've seen Sam Hunt play in front of 3 people before.
Wow.
You know? Yeah,
it's like the Bluebird of Alabama.
I mean, that's what it sounds
like.
I'm
gonna go with.
Yeah.
It's where you go.
Yeah.
And this is one little bone I'd like to pick. I think Wagon Wheel is one of the greatest songs ever written.
Yeah.
But you hate it now, because you heard it so much.
Yeah, and that's what happens with all the best music ever. Nobody ends up disliking a song because it's played too much. You've heard it too many times, and that's what ended up happening to me running that little honky tonk.
Because that was the name of it.
Yeah. What?
Was that the name of the bar?
Pelham's. Yeah.
Pelham's.
Pelham's. You have Pelham's Bar, which is a little Irish pub that's on the corner, and that was like open from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then you have Brothers Bar, which is a honky tonk across the street. Only live music, cold beer, no liquor, huge bar. That's where you have your bouncer goons and your, you know.
Yeah. So that's why you had a stage there that you would start stepping on.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's kind of what pushed me towards. I mean, I'd always been who I am, telling stories, joking around, but I was really inspired by, I mean, Riley and these other guys, the attention they got, how much fun it looked like they were having, but I don't sing. So I just decided, I was like, you know, once a month I'm going to put myself up on stage and I'm going to do an hour. And that's back when I used to drink. So I'd take 11 Jaeger bombs, 5 shots of Kentucky bourbon, and go do an hour.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was terrible. It wasn't good comedy. I didn't know if I wanted to tell a joke or fight somebody.
And what was that legitimately just like on a whim being at the bar? Or did you have dreams before then of like, I want to do comedy for a living?
No, I never dreamed of it. It's not, I don't think growing up where we grew up, it's on your radar as a dream.
Yeah.
You know, you tell somebody in Harvest, Alabama, you want to be a comedian, and I mean, they're going to laugh at you. It's not going to be for the right reason. I didn't run into that dream until, I'd been on stage for a couple years doing comedy once a month, once every 2 months, and then I got 2 DUIs and I got in some trouble. And then once that happened, it felt like that there was no other option but to kind of chase this dream. It cornered me into the best situation in hindsight. You know, I'd never be a comedian if I didn't get those DUIs. I would have stayed on the same path, maybe tried to run a bar or gone and done something different in my life. But when I ran into that, I go, you know, this is my only way out is going to be doing comedy. I don't know why I thought that, but I believed that.
Mm-hmm. Your parents, Stacy and Bill, you talk about them a lot.
I do.
You know, at first, I would imagine, what was their reaction when you said, I want to be a stand-up comedian?
Oh, man. I mean, my old man was just beside himself. My mom cried her eyes out. I mean, yeah, they were both devastated because now you're in the worst situation you've ever been in. And I go, I'm going to move to Colorado. I'm going to move to Denver. That would have made my old man cry on its own. Yeah. And then I go, I'm going to do stand-up comedy. And you know, nobody, it's funny when you look back. My mother's always been supportive, but nobody believed it, you know, that it could happen. It's a long shot that I could make something out of it. But I kind of fed off of that.
You know? I mean, nobody in your community had walked that path before.
No, nobody I'd been around. I hadn't seen one person ever become a stand-up comedian and do, you know, anything close to that. But, you know, when I moved out west, you know, it felt like a whole new life, I had 2 DUIs in 6 months. I'd lost my license, lost a lot of friends. You know, when I was in Jacksonville, everybody kind of gave up on me. You know, they thought that I was just going to disappear. You know, I was a really popular guy, ran the bar, had a lot of power in the town. And then when I lost all that, it was like the most clear, vivid picture of who was on your side and not. Yeah. And it was devastating because there was only about 2 people left. I mean, I was riding a bicycle around town, hopping from couch to couch, sleeping in people's. I mean, everybody remembers this. They try to forget about it, but you know, it's a great quote I always remember is the axe never remembers, the tree never forgets. So it's one of those things where, like, I remember all these times. I was basically homeless before I moved to Colorado.
You still do you keep in touch with those 2 or 3 people that
stuck with you?
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, I get married in a month, and Blake Mask, he's going to be officiating it. And he's one of those guys.
Stuck with you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like when I did an arena with Bert, had Blake come up, Caleb Cargill. I mean, there's several people in that town that you know, you'll never forget. You almost hope one day you really make it so you can do something, you know, special for them, you know.
I would imagine. I mean, I know you talk about it openly on stage, the DUIs and all that stuff, but like that had to be a painful. Like, you're a human being. Man. That's a really
2 DUIs in 6 months is crazy. I mean, it changed a lot about how I thought, my work ethic, my approach, my perspective. I mean, I was a pretty soft dude. I got those 2 DUIs. I became a dog. I wasn't scared of anything anymore. Yeah. You know, I moved to Denver, and those comedians there, they didn't realize it, but I mean, I had a leg up. I'd already died once. This was, you know, a revival. Yeah. And so when I got there, they didn't there was no mic or like no show that was going to scare me off or be too hard. I was bitter, mad, revengeful. You know, it's taken me years because I kind of did comedy almost as like you know, now I'm talking about it and the feelings and emotions come back as like a revenge tour. Where I was kind of, you know, I was in Jacksonville riding a bicycle around town, you know, picking up cigarette butts off the ground to smoke them, no money, working for a concrete company. David Williams, shout out to him, hired me to do that to help me get back on my feet again. And then I was like, I'm going to move out west. I'm going to become a comedian. And one day I'm going to bury these people, you know. And, you know, that's kind of where it started. I was mad. You know, even though I put myself in their own, they didn't drive me drunk anywhere. Yeah. I created their own situation, but it worked to my advantage. I was mad at their reactions. and you know, I used it as fuel.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Golly. I feel like I've been in that, not necessarily the DUI thing, but I can think about dozens of times in my life when it just...
Well, you have those two options, and I can already tell you chose probably the same thing I did. You can either lay down and waller in it, or you can get mad and do something about it. Because I had the choice to feel bad for myself. Nobody wanted to help me out. I didn't have a car anymore. I couldn't get a job. I could have laid down and wallered in it, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? I think I've got a way out, and an insane way out, and in a long way out, which was comedy, which I felt like was the only way I was going to, I don't know why, but I felt like that was the only way I was going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're faced with that decision and you're going, okay, was that the origin for making you want to move out west to Denver?
Yeah, I had to, you know, that's why people move away. The noise was too loud. The disappointment was, you know, my old man, he owns a landscaping company, Bill, and he's as tough as I describe him. And we tried to work with each other, and I mean, we almost choked each other to death. And it was mainly because I wasn't supposed to be in that truck with him. You know, I was 30 years old. I'd already moved off, gone to college. So the situation never sat right with him. This wasn't how the story was supposed to go.
Yeah.
So I needed to get away. And me going way out to Colorado helped me kind of live in my own world. I never felt embarrassed. I didn't know anybody. You know, a lot of embarrassment and what people think, for me at least, drives a lot of what I do. I get very worried about what things look like. When I showed up to Colorado, nobody knew who I didn't care what I looked like. I didn't care the terrible job I had to get at Big Lots. I didn't care. I wasn't scared that I was going to run into an old buddy and be very embarrassed.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody. So that made the reset a lot easier. And the comedy scene out there is strong. I didn't know that. I got lucky. I mean, I knew that there was a couple good comics out of Denver. I didn't know that it was that good of a Comedy Works. The club that's out there is is my home club. It's a great place.
I mean, you're a funny dude. I don't want to go like crazy deep, but I can't help but think you've had to have done like some internal work on yourself throughout this whole process.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This guy is obsessed with working on yourself.
For better or for worse, yeah. I mean,
for better or for worse.
When you get to that point where you're like, well, I've kind of blown it, and so I loved what you said about I wasn't scared of anything at that point because there's nothing else to be scared of.
Yeah.
You're moving out. You're on your own. You're your own guy, and doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. And like, then you can truly create your own craft, your own comedy, your own person. You know, in Denver, Colorado, on your own.
Yeah.
And that's the gift on the backside of it all.
You
say without those, you wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's hard for some people to understand, but it's like, if they, you know, those DUIs were not regular DUIs. I mean, they felt like sometimes, you know, it's crazy to say, it was like DUIs of fate out here.
Yeah.
You know, I got the first one and I didn't even pay attention to it. It was like Mayberry. They let me right off the hook. And it feels like God was like, my goodness, I'm going to have to help this guy get two, you know? And then 4 months later, I get another one. And then that one was a serious one. And so, yeah, I mean, I cannot help but look back and, because it just changed so much of an important thing and maybe a hard thing to say at the time was it took away my ego.
Yeah.
You know, and that gets in the way of a lot of men, I think, in what we do in a lot of areas. I had no ego when I showed up to Colorado because I'd been stripped down. I showed up with nothing. I was naked. You couldn't hurt my feelings, and I wasn't going to hurt yours. I was there to stay out of the way and try to become something, and that was my advantage.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I just love that you weave it in to who you are today, like that. It gives people a laugh, but it also honors your story and honors a lot of other people that are walking the same line. And that takes a non-ego, right? The ego doesn't want that. So I love it. So thanks for weaving it in, man.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Of
course.
How
How are you with Bill and Stacy today?
Oh, great. Yeah, but
they're proud of their boy.
Yeah. I'm a mama's boy from way back. So we've always been pretty locked in. You know, just like a lot of young men with their fathers. You know, it can be touch and go depending on. But my mom, you know, she's weathered the storm with me. But yeah, our relationship's great, and the more I write and think about things and get on, you don't. It's fun to realize, like my dad, Bill, how many other people were raised by Bill or somebody similar to him.
Yeah.
It's fun, but yeah, I got a great relationship with him. Yeah.
Winston, we're going to do something a little different right now.
Let's go.
We've never done a lightning round with a guest.
This is fun.
Okay.
I'm curious. I want to just get your hot take on a couple things.
I love that.
Are you a mayonnaise guy?
Love it so much.
Do you have a go-to brand?
Yeah, I do. It's going to be Duke's.
Okay.
It was Blue Plate, and then I posted something online about Blue Plate, and people threatened to come to my home.
Yeah. So
what you got?
I am just weirdly obsessed with mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And I have been a Duke's guy for a long, long time. I'm rethinking that now. They just sold to like a big VC company out of Boston.
Oh, really?
They did. Wow. Just a couple weeks ago.
I did not know that.
And now I'm looking at Blue Plate.
Yeah.
Because New Orleans brand, like I'm kind of exploring Blue Plate. But I love that you take your mayonnaise seriously.
Oh yeah, I love
one
of my favorite questions when somebody asks if they're making my sandwich, is that too much mayonnaise?
Absolutely not.
That's about right there.
There ain't much. There's no such thing as too much. If you had to pick one, Waffle House or Cracker Barrel?
Oh, that's real easy. I pick Waffle House.
Okay, what's your go-to order?
I'm going to do the All-Star Special, pecan waffle. I'm going to do hash browns instead of grits, smothered and covered. And, over easy on the eggs. And that's about 80% of the time. I'll do Texas toast. I'll do a Texas the sandwich.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Texas toast sandwich or something.
I love that he had to shut his eyes to think about it.
I had to see the menu. It's a picture menu.
I know.
Yeah,
toaster sandwich.
Yeah. But no, Waffle House over everything. If I'm being honest,
it takes a special person to work at a Waffle House, and I love them.
Yeah,
salted like real human beings, down to earth. The crap they have to put up with.
Yeah,
I cannot imagine having to deal with it.
I can't either. They're unique. They're unique people, and I really like to meet some of the old school ones. The ones that have been around 25, 30 years. Grizzled, man. They've been around for a long, long time. I mean, I've had some special moments. When I was in Denver there for a couple years, I would go on Christmas Eve if I didn't come home. I'd go to Waffle House, and on the jukebox, I'd have the Alabama band play Christmas in Dixie. And I'd play it about 7 times while I ate. And that was about as close to home as I could get. It felt good, though.
I love it. Do you have any family heirlooms that you cherish?
Family heirlooms that I cherish? Yeah, I've got some. There's a few things. I got a great uncle out of West Virginia that has a woodworker, a pretty famous West Virginian woodworker. Would make a wooden ornament for the Christmas tree at the Capitol every year. And I've got bowls and different utensils and different things that he's carved out that he did out of the fence posts from our dairy farms in West Virginia. Those and some coins that my uncles, I come from a pretty redneck family. They're running a metal detector every once in a while.
Yeah.
So I got some coins too. But I'm a big case knife collector myself. Yeah. And I plan on passing that on one day to somebody.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
If you go chicken biscuit, are you a Chick-fil-A guy or a Popeyes guy or other?
Shoo, chicken biscuit. I'm gonna go Chick-fil-A, but I'm gonna say this: I think that we could torture people if we gave them Chick-fil-A's biscuits without a drink.
I agree.
That's the only problem. It's about the only biscuit. And I like it, but sometimes I'm like, let me take a bite without a sip, and it's not possible. But I would choose Chick-fil-A. I would choose Chick-fil-A.
What about you, Winston?
I gotta have cheese and egg. Sometimes egg. Sometimes I
you
go
add cheese
chicken, egg, and cheese biscuit
to a chicken biscuit
at Chick-fil-A.
I like that.
And
I'm all in.
That'll help. That'll help a little bit.
I put an egg on an egg.
You're a burrito guy. Come on.
Yeah, I do like their burrito. What's the hardest thing about being a Southerner living in New York City right now?
People were not raised with the same manners we were.
Yeah.
And that is an easy answer. And you were 3 words in, and I knew what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest difference, is they're not as conscious as other people and as thoughtful as we are. I mean, I was just telling a buddy of mine I brought on the road this weekend, personal space to Southerners is a thing.
Yeah.
When I'm standing in line at a gas station, and y'all don't notice this as much down here because you don't run into it, but when you go to like New York City or somewhere else, people will be standing right next to me, right on my back, and I promise y'all, I will slowly turn around. I won't always say something. Personal space, you got to give me, it feels disrespectful. I start to itch. Holding doors open for each other, saying thank you. It's all this thing. And they'll go, Southerners don't mean it. I don't care if you mean it. Let's do the dance.
Yeah.
Because the dance makes me feel better. You say it, I say it, and they'll go, they don't mean it from their heart. I'd rather somebody say it that doesn't mean it at all than nobody say it at all.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know where this sincere thing matters. I didn't let you in front of me in line in traffic because I my heart bleeds. I'm just doing what I know I should do.
Yeah.
And you can come. You know what I mean? So anyway.
I like this. Yeah. I like this. This is a hot button.
Oh, dude, I didn't expect the reaction, but I absolutely
manners and etiquette.
But I'm curious how on earth you even survive there, because there's not a single Waffle House in Manhattan.
No, there's not. No.
How do you get by? Are there spots you've learned about that you're
I circle the dates on my road trips, man. I look forward to being out of there and getting something, And I mean, every weekend I'm on the road, I just about eat Waffle House. But sometimes it hurts. Listen, I miss Waffle House less than in New York City than I miss Texas Roadhouse. Because that was like a date night spot for me and my lady. We love to go to Texas Roadhouse, listen to some Alan Jackson, eat some rolls, rub your feet together. You know what I mean?
Do the peanuts on the ground?
I love peanuts with all my heart. I love peanuts. But I probably miss the Texas Roadhouse more, even though I like Waffle House more in the big scheme of things. Just those kind of chain restaurants, they don't have them in New York City.
Yeah. You seem like you have a colorful background.
Yeah.
But I would call you a clean comedian.
Yeah, I am.
Is that something that, you've mentioned Nate, you've mentioned John. Is it something you kind of have thought about consciously, or is it just kind of who you are normally?
I've thought about it consciously. I'm a pretty, clean guy overall. Like I don't live two lives or anything. Yeah. I just found it better, and it received better on stage when I didn't have a foul mouth.
Yeah.
Because I don't talk about dark things or ugly issues, or I just would sometimes say a cuss word.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was easy to delete those things and just, it wasn't a big leap for me. I just needed to quit saying certain words on stage. And, my folks would tell you that they didn't give me that mouth. That the bar in gave me that mouth. But yeah, I used to have a little bit of a foul mouth, but now it translates over, and I don't talk that way really on and off stage.
Yeah.
I keep it clean overall.
It's so much more like, as a dad with 3 kids, it's so much easier just to know that you can hit play.
Yeah, for sure.
And just watch it.
That's right.
Like I can't watch the Super Bowl anymore, or the national championship or where, because I'm like, I wonder what the commercial is going to be next. Mm-hmm. But just to be able to, like, you're capturing so many more people, me included, when it's just, you don't have to worry about it, right? And if it touches on some type of cultural issue, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's funny and digestible at that point. So we can actually talk about it because the entry point is so much easier to get into talking about whatever the issue is. So I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
I enjoy my comedy on this side of the tracks more as well. And plus my energy and the way I deal, it almost feels like I'm cussing up there. I get pretty fired up.
He's aggressive, dude.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's halftime coach sometimes.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I like that.
I do. I want to touch on this Uber driver for just a minute because I'm gonna tell you. Here's how I came to this. I haven't told you this story yet. Okay. I was at church on Sunday, this Sunday, and I had to drive separately. We were in different cars, so I got there ahead of my family, and I was walking in to save seats. And last week I had posted on Facebook Marketplace selling my 9-year-old's original little 50cc dirt bike. We just bumped him up a little.
Mm-hmm, nice.
And I had posted this bike, cleaned up. It's a great bike, $1,500. All right. Mm-hmm. And I get a message on my phone on the night before. We had a big thunderstorm going on. And the guy messaged at 7:30, thunderstorm, lightning, and said, "Can I come out and look at this bike right now? I have $1,200 if it checks all the right boxes." And my response to him was, "Sir, I appreciate the offer. We're having a big thunderstorm right now, so now it doesn't work. And $1,200 is too low for me. Thank you, though." That was my response to him. I'm walking into church the next morning, and my phone buzzes. And I, like an idiot, picked it up and looked at it. And his response to me was, "Good luck selling that kid's bike for $1,500. If my money isn't good enough for you, I'll just go somewhere else."
Yeah.
And I had a moment.
Oh, for sure.
I'm walking into my church. And everything good and holy says, "Chris, put your phone away. Don't even pay any attention to that guy." I couldn't do it. I could not let it go. And I pulled my phone out in the foyer of my church. And I stopped and I texted him back and I said,
Scripture.
"You don't have to be a prick."
Yeah.
I said, "Thank you for your offer." And then I sent it. And because I had known he just sent it, my phone had just vibrated, I waited until I saw him, the little notification.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as I saw his little face pop up where he saw it, blocked him.
Oh, love that.
And then the day later, I saw the story of you and this Uber driver.
Yeah.
What is it about, like, I try to describe it to people like I've got a very aged redneck bone inside. It can go hot real quick, 0 to 100 and I hate that about myself. I really do. It is one of my biggest flaws.
For sure.
I can set stuff on fire in an instant. Is that something you still struggle with?
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the time.
Is that just...
I don't know what it is.
Does that
either.
just come from being in the
But then
country?
I'm also come down as quick as I come up. It's just I'll get frustrated and I'll have to. But when I was following along, I would have done exactly everything that you did. I would have waited until I knew that he saw my response because I have to check out of those. If I hang in there too long, I'm going to unravel. It's going to emotionally take me away. My family will know.
Yes.
Alyssa will know because I'm phone. She's talking to me. I got a 1,000-yard stare. So I have to check out for. I have to back out. That's why I've made statuses in the past. I'm very ranty on and off stage. I'll make a status on Facebook. And when I'm done with that status, I'll delete it. And people will message me and they'll go, "No, keep it up. What do you delete it?" No, I go, "I'm done with that. You're not going to ambush me with this because 2 weeks from now, you hop on this status and I see that notification.
And you're right back in it.
I'm right back in the saddle. I got to get it done. We're done with it. Yeah.
It just crushes me that it seems so petty and small to react that way. I could not let it go.
Yeah.
And
I think it's universal.
But what kind of work do I have to do to get past that? Because I don't want to be that guy, but that Uber, when I watched that video of you talking about this Uber driver, and just, I mean, because I'm not sure if I sent you the link, walk us through that story one more time.
I mean, I would have to. This was a couple years ago. You're going to have to remind me.
Well, so the dude, you schedule an Uber ride. You're going to the airport. The guy doesn't move for some time.
Yeah, that's right.
And you message him, "Hey, you haven't moved. Is everything okay?"
Yeah, that's right.
And then it just devolved from there.
Yeah. Yeah, and this reminds me. I was just telling my mother about this. There's so many times where Uber drivers will bother me. And or not, sometimes they won't drive and pick you up. They'll stop 50 yards from you. You got to walk all the way. And I mean, I will get into the vehicle. I'm like, I'm all 1 star their daggum head off their shoulders. and then by the end of the ride, it's only a 9-minute ride. Yeah. I'm over it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that to them. Yeah, they were pretty nice. But in that moment, and I think what happens is I don't know if you can ever make those feelings go away. I think it's realizing that you're having one of those moments, letting it pass and not acting. I don't know if you could keep the moment from happening, but you can keep it from becoming bigger by going, and that's what I do with myself sometimes, like with somebody. Let me tell you my biggest pet peeve in all of the world is if you cut in front of me, we will have a conversation. Yeah. I will say something. I cannot stand it. I don't know what it is.
Is that in a car or just in lines?
No, in lines.
Okay, in lines.
Human to human. Yeah. If I am standing there, it's a rare occurrence, but it'll happen. And somebody will cut in front of me. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the ultimate.
I cannot.
I don't see you.
Yeah, 100%. And I just have to realize in those moments that, I mean, I'm gonna say something, but not to, lose my. Excuse me. I was already, I'm right here.
That takes work.
Yeah.
That happened to me getting on a plane a few weeks ago, and he just walked right in front of me, and I turned and looked at him like in the face, kind of like that personal space thing. And then I thought, well, we have assigned seats on this flight, and we're all going to get on there at some point.
For sure.
We're going to get there at the same time. And I'm walking myself back down. This one guy getting in front of me who's probably in a zone behind me, and it's universal.
It is. I mean, I deal with it on a
But in Manhattan,
daily basis.
when you have a certain standard that's just in your blood, and that standard it holds no weight up in Manhattan.
No, it doesn't. No, it's
That's
tough.
happening a lot for me.
Yeah.
You're in town playing the Ryman tonight.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited.
You are
It's
excited. You ever
amazing.
been there?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
This is my second or third time.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, great venue.
Yeah.
Really gonna be a lot of fun.
I think that's going to be a blast. You're on tour like constantly, I feel
Constantly,
like.
yeah.
I was on your website yesterday. If people watching this are like, man, I want to go check this guy out, what's the best way for them to do that?
Just get in a car and drive a direction. I mean, we'll run into each other eventually. But DerrickStroupComedy.com is my website. Instagram, Derrick Yells is where you can find me on most platforms. I'm on Facebook. And
He likes to yell. It's Derrick Yells because
It's a great yell.
He likes to yell at people.
He's a gravelly yell.
It is.
I can't do it.
It's from my belly, man.
I can't do it.
My throat didn't hurt hardly ever. I yell from my gut. I don't know where I got it from, but I got it.
I hope tonight's great.
Me too.
And dude, we just appreciate you giving us some time.
Yeah, what a
hanging out for a
fun
bit.
interview. I thought we were only 9 minutes in. This was a lot of fun. Thank y'all so much
Absolutely.
for having me.
Hey, man, good luck on the Masters this weekend. Hope you do something big with your fantasy team.
Dude, I'm
Since
excited about that fantasy
You've got
team.
like 10 options, it sounds like.
It's me and
So
3 other dudes. I'll be happy to add y'all in the group.
Yep.
Southern Shankers fantasy group. So
Southern Shankers.
that's right.
That's a great little.
That's a good one.
All right, we appreciate it,
Yeah.
Derrick.
Oh, man.
Dude,
Hey,
what about that guy?
how about Derrick?
Derrick Stroup.
That was really good.
I've
never sat down and had a conversation with a comedian from Harvest, Alabama.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a normal guy.
Yeah,
Like, there wasn't 1 ounce of pretense with him. It does not, I mean, golly, we spent less than an hour with him, but
yeah.
he's not trying to be somebody he's not.
Nope, he ain't coming in here expecting anything. He came in and did our podcast, first of all, which I wanted to ask him, why did you say yes to this? That goes ahead and that shows you that he's kind of like, yeah, I'll work you into my Ryman show night.
You should have asked him that. I think that's a great question. When we get people,
what does he have to gain?
It's a little bit of like inside baseball, but we're reaching out to people that we think are interesting.
Yeah, that have a maybe a Southern
A bit,
heritage,
for sure. I mean, I think they've got to have that connection with the South.
Yeah,
like to me, they got to either live here, be from here, be an obvious, a displaced Southerner, something like that.
Have an opinion on mayonnaise.
But I would say most of the people that we reach out to, we're expecting them to say no.
Absolutely.
Why would they say yes?
Yeah. Hey, follow-up question. Now that you've committed, why did you say yes?
What was it about that?
But I think that goes to show that he's not above anything.
Yeah.
I love that. So I'm thankful he was here.
Yeah.
Amazing story. Mm-hmm. I still feel like we're experiencing the front end of his success too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing big things. He's been doing it since 2015. That's 10 years of comedy. That's a long time.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a monster.
Yeah.
He's going to be a huge comedian.
Yeah.
He's so daggum funny and relatable and like open about the way he worked. I
don't think he's not two different people like you said. He's just this. Here I am.
Man, I thought he was great.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
You know, you talk about this little sidebar, somewhat attached. Talk about we're a little bit on the front end. Like we feel like we're seeing him early in his career, even though he's been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah. Overnight success after 10 years.
I saw Nate Bargatze play a room above a coffee shop in Nashville.
Yeah.
There were 20 people in the room.
Wow. Right.
I think they were $7 tickets.
Right.
And this was probably 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
15, 16 years ago.
Yep.
But at in that moment, I was like, this dude's gonna be. He was so daggum funny.
Oh yeah.
And clean, like approach.
Right.
You know, you didn't feel.
I don't know. Can I tell those jokes again?
Yeah. That I get that same feeling watching Derrick stuff,
and just how much hard work there is in all that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna be heard unless I go and practice and do.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not on a stage, then you're not doing anything. You're not making any money. You're not putting yourself out there. And that is a grind.
Yeah.
Like his schedule, just the past 4 days.
You go to his website, DerrickStroupComedy.com. He's everywhere. He's just on the road constantly. Road dog.
Road dog. I love that guy. I'm gonna keep following that.
I wish you brought up another thing. I wish we had, looking back, I wish we had asked him about like the process of comedy. Because I am curious about that. I'm fascinated with like, how does one do that? What are you doing every day? Are you is it just observations and writing and like you've got like there's real work.
Oh yeah.
Are
you just always thinking, how can I make that what just happened in that coffee shop funny?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of funny, but maybe I can make it like boom. Are you always looking for moments like that? I would be constantly looking at real life stuff and being like, I might be able to use that.
And that's his job.
Yeah.
He's good at it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He did mention writing. So I know there's a lot of like a lot of ideation going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
It's good.
We've got some other great guests coming up.
It's a good lineup. April's been strong.
Yep, we got some fun people coming up. I'm not gonna say we don't want to say names just because like somebody might have to cancel or reschedule, so I don't want to get into all that. But don't miss out on it. Like if you're watching this, subscribe.
Share,
if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, subscribe
because we got more coming.
Give us a little 5-star rating. Leave us a review. We really like these guys. They're really great. When you do that, and it's like it takes a minute. It doesn't take long.
I thought you might start doing this.
I'm going into my Trump.
I know.
It doesn't
now
take
you're
long.
Selling.
Now I'm selling. It doesn't take long.
It would be tremendous.
It is like such a boost to the algorithm of podcasts when
subscribe, like, share.
Yeah, subscribe, like, share, review, all that fun
stuff. Help us find other gentlemen.
Yeah. If you're on TikTok, find us there. We're always posting like little funny reels and stuff.
Yeah, we are.
TikTok, Wild West. You want to hit up the old mailbag over there?
MALE.
Look at that.
All right.
I will also say while you're picking a question,
okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead. I might be a little early on this,
okay,
but I'm gonna go ahead and say
you're just too excited.
I'm too excited. We've got a Southern Gentleman hat coming out.
Oh, here we go.
It's coming out.
You are excited.
We ordered the samples today.
Yeah.
They are in process.
Yep. Nobody's more excited than me.
I think you're the most excited.
I've been wanting to do product for a while, and you're like,
Well,
yeah, there's a thing.
Out,
you got to.
Yeah, we have figured. I mean, right now,
you can't just wake up and do it.
No, and I think we're doing it in a fun way because when we do have them now,
I don't want you. Don't tell the whole thing.
Don't tell the whole thing.
Not the whole thing.
Okay, I won't tell the whole thing.
Okay. I think it's plenty enough.
I'm just gonna say
we've got some gear coming.
We got a little bit of gear coming. A hat to start. It's gonna be a cool hat.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you what, but it's a cool hat.
Yeah, it is.
I think we created a hat we both want to wear.
I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah, we're both gonna wear it. We're gonna be excited to give it to guests, and other people will have other ways. I'm not gonna say anything
That's
else.
good.
Okay.
There'll be a rollout.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
If you keep listening, you'll hear about it. You'll find it.
It's gonna be fun.
Just watch out where you shop.
Yep.
You might.
And
And it better be the real one.
Yeah.
All these fakes
We don't
out
want
there.
any fake knockoff Southern Gentleman hats.
All right, this is Zingy from Zingy.
Zingy.
Don't know where from.
I always tell people,
Are you ready for this
put
question?
your city and state in there.
I know. I'm
so
sorry.
we can tell where you're from. Zingy.
Men's bags. ...
Oh dear.
Are they an in thing? Question mark. Crossbody satchel ... Let me know.
I'm very opinionated about this.
Men's bags. Go ahead.
Crossbody? And what was the other thing?
A satchel.
No. I mean,
I'm sure what a satchel is.
I own a satchel.
That's different than a crossbody bag?
Yeah, it's different than a
Okay.
crossbody. Like my satchel.
How do you wear it?
Well, my satchel, it's such a
You
weird
have
word
one.
to say, is like a leather strap with a little leather pad up here. It's like a hanging briefcase.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's made out of canvas and leather. It's
Okay.
cool. It's cool. Now, I recently made a bag change. I carried that bag. I still own it, but I carried
did too.
it.
I called it a laptop bag.
Yeah, but I would throw papers,
Folders.
chargers,
Yeah.
out, sunglasses,
Yep.
just all kinds of stuff in there. I carried that bag for a long time. I just made a change like 3 months ago.
Really?
Yeah, I made a change.
Just 3 months
Yes,
ago?
because the satchel, it was made by a guy here in Nashville. Shout out
Colonel?
Emil Irwin.
Oh, okay.
Great guy. This bag, the satchel that I own, my kids this is a lifetime thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is so beautiful and well made.
Yeah.
But
Better with age.
It's getting heavy though.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know
one-
why. I'm feeling the weight of it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And you're not going to cross it over.
occasionally
'cause
I
that
would.
would balance it out.
Occasionally I would.
Yeah, if you're going to walk.
But
It's not secure either.
no.
It's not, it feels like it's always going to fall off.
It would flop
Just
around.
saddlebags.
If I'm like, I got to get somewhere quick, and I'm walking, like it's kind of,
You're donkeying.
it feels like it does
saddle.
feel like a big saddlebag. That's a great word for it. I made a change a few months ago to a Mystery Ranch backpack,
Yeah, that's big time.
and I got to tell you, I love the backpack.
Do you? Okay.
Now I'm full blown, throw it over the back.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Lots of compartments. Got a spot for my laptop.
Yep.
Little separate spot. iPad, both padded in there, separates them.
Yeah, when I think about a crossbody or a satchel, I'm thinking of the only reason would be just like I don't need a lot of storage. I'm not carrying books or like like a lawsuit or something in
But
my
at
bag.
that point, it's a purse.
So then you're just carrying. What are you carrying in there if it's so small?
Well, the only crossbody bag I own is my pistol bag.
yeah. So
It's black.
Yeah.
Cordova. What do you call that?
And I would
material?
never expect a guy to carry a gun in a fanny pack.
It's not a fanny pack. It's a crossbody.
It goes under your clothes.
No. No. Can you imagine if it were under my clothes and it was like
Just for
all sticking out?
there.
And you can't get
Okay,
to it.
I get you. We've talked about it.
We've
before.
talked about it. It's an amazing bag, dude.
Yeah, the answer, I think, men's bags, are they an in thing? Not here.
Not here.
Not here.
Not in Southern gentleman country.
Absolutely not here, Zingy.
Not in God's country, it ain't.
I have to toot my own backpacks. I have a Go Ruck backpack that I put everything in. And
Is that a brand or a style or what? I'm not familiar
It's a
with
brand.
the word. Okay.
Yep. And I have been stopped in the airport and say for a compliment of my Go Ruck bag.
Okay.
It's a community. I bet there's some mystery ranchers out there too. There's like, dude, great bag. But Go Ruck it's kind of a tribal thing.
Okay.
So the guy was like in the military, got out and started making civilian rucking bags, which is what they would do in the army for plates and different things like that.
Yeah, I see your bag.
It's over there.
It feels a little military-ish.
It is
little
because
bit,
of the fabric. I
yeah.
went with kind of like a wax canvas.
Yep.
Because I would have wax canvas everything. Kind of a sucker for it.
Me too.
So
Me too. I love it. I love waxed canvas.
I'll pass that for 14 generations.
That's what my satchel is. It's a dark gray waxed canvas with leather.
I was picturing leather. For
no.
some reason. Now I can get it.
It's
now
a dark gray.
It's almost a Filson look.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Now
Filson's
I get
a great brand.
Amen.
Not Southern, but love me some Filson.
Yeah. If it's okay, so here's my wrap up. If it's smaller than a 13-inch laptop, you don't need to wear that.
No,
because you don't need it.
That's a purse.
What, you're carrying like a lip gloss.
Yeah. Anything crossbody that is not made to carry a pistol, I don't think should be worn by a man.
Write that in.
Fanny packs.
Write that into the
fanny packs are a little bit different. I could sort of get there with a fanny pack.
Oh my gosh. Only if you're traveling and you need your passport like 14 times in one day.
Cash, wallet, sunglasses.
And you're at Disney.
And I'm wearing...
Like a very specific thing. It is not an in thing, though. It's just for that one vacation or that one moment.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not going to go to work with it.
I agree. I think, and this is not going to endear me to anybody out there, but...
Or me.
Oh, I'm a short shorts guy. Now,
oh, boy.
I'm a short shorts guy.
8 inches at least? 7?
I'm going to have to measure the inseam.
You're a 7 inseam?
I'm going to have to measure.
Measure that.
But I got some short shorts. And, dude, I'm embracing it. In the summer now, I go short shorts. And so if you're on a beach vacation, if you're wearing your short shorts and you got to carry a wallet and sunglasses and keys or whatever.
Yeah.
Fanny pack's great. Now, I haven't done it, but I can see how I could get there.
Yeah, yeah.
I could see getting there.
I could too.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm a utility guy. I'm the guy that you would want to be like, oh, is there
throw style out the window?
What's the most minimal thing that you could use that'll get this job done? But I've thought about it one time, and it was at an airport where I was throwing my bag back around to get all the passports out, and then you put it back on, and you're like, I just wish I had a thing right here that I could just pull the passport in and out to get through customs. That was one day out of my whole life.
I just had one of those fearful moments where I was like,
you're good, man.
Did I? Oh, I did.
You're
okay.
All right, let's put this one in the books. This is a great day.
This is great. Derrick
Stroup.
Amazing. So funny. Go see him. Check him out. Derrick Yells on Instagram.
He does.
We appreciate him being here.
Sure does. Thank you, Derrick.
And we got some great people coming up. So
yep, keep coming back.
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out the other videos on our channel and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos.
And if you're tired of seeing our faces talk, you can go the audio only route and catch us on Apple and Spotify. If you do that, be sure to subscribe, give us a rating and a review so that we can reach more people.
See y'all next week.